economic consequences. Thank you.
Mr Chairman.
Honourable David Cunliffe.
Thank you, Mr Chairman.
Mr
Chairman, that was very kind of you. Eventually, Mr Chairman. Thank you very, very, very much. Mr Chairman, I'd like to take this opportunity to rise and speak to Part 3 of the bill and do something which rather pains me, sir, which is to be nice to the government. I'm wanting to compliment the national government for several changes that they are introducing in this part of the bill. Now, having said that, Mr Chairman, I promise not to make a habit of this. I don't want people out there in listener land to think that we've completely lost our marbles, but there are several changes here which make me think that they have become latter-day saints of social democracy, that they have discovered truth, fairness and the Kiwi way, because they are doing, albeit a very small amount, to shave some of the silver lining off the silver spoon that is born in the mouths of some. And who knows, perhaps they will, as Megan Woods has said, introduce a capital gains tax to help the cause of fairness. But at least in this bill, sir, they are broadening the definition of income to include such things, wait for it, as trusts which the Law Commission tells us are being overused, that we have one of the highest incidences of family trusts in this country, that it's a major avoidance loophole, and too often taxpayers are vesting assets in the hands of children simply for the purposes of minimising tax. But were any friend of the National Party doing that on this occasion of this bill, they would be narrowing that avoidance loophole by saying that income from trusts will be calculated in the definition of income that is used to calculate student support entitlements. And likewise, companies. And so that, of course, means a wide range of companies. It could even mean companies like, I don't know, Apple, which is paying less than 1% of revenue in taxation in New Zealand, even though its average profitability on revenue is over 20% worldwide. That would seem to be somewhat unfair, sir, but at least this bill is broadening the definition of income in student loan calculations to include income from companies as well as trusts and superannuation schemes, which of course the member who's interjecting so rudely of course has many, sir. And that is of course a further broadening of the definition of income, and that is a good, proper and right thing to do. Why is that? Sir, I believe...
Part 3?
Yes, we're in Part 3, sir. I'm looking at Clause 63 to 66, in particular at Section 63, which broadens the definition of annual gross income to include income from trusts, companies and superannuation schemes, sir, and that is amplified in Clause 64, which inserts Clause 73 and Clause 65, which brings me to the so what, sir, which is really pretty simple. In our extended families, I'll warrant that we know young people who are very, very fixed on tertiary education, who almost, no matter what the odds, they will go and do it. They will take on loans, they will pass the exams, and we probably also, in our heart of hearts, have someone in our whānau who really isn't cut out for tertiary education, and that's just fine too. They'll find their own path. What this series of reforms aims to do is to address that group in the middle. The kids who need a hand up, who need the power of the state to provide them with the confidence and the financial resources to stretch to tertiary education, and the money that is involved in that needs to go a bit further, which is why the Silver Spoon Brigade have to be able to count, or should count, their trust income, their company income and their superannuation income. Now, I'm not quite sure, sir, how this actually got through the National Caucus and why Todd McClay, the esteemed chairman of the Finance Committee, a trust fund baby from way back, didn't torpedo this out of pure self-interest, but it seems he was outvoted if he tried, and here it is on the House floor, and we on this side of the House, sir, think that's a very good thing. A very small step in the cause of social justice from the National Party. Sir, that brings me to Clause 67, and as David Clark has rightly pointed out, this is perhaps the most exciting clause, a breathtaking clause within Part 3. Why, I hear you ask out there in TV land, is Clause 67 so exciting? Because it repeals the 10% silver spoon bonus repayment. Kids from rich... Mr. Chairman, I'm sure people want to hear the end of this.
Paul Goldsmith.
Oh,
Well called. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the opportunity to make a comment on this